it's Anya here and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks. And today we are making scouring pads. Now, I have bought in the past just commercially available scouring pads. I live in the UK and I was able to buy this thick pad with on one side a scouring material and then on the other side a material that more like made things shine. And inside there was like a foam inside, so you would have a little cushioning. But the problem with those is once you've used them a couple of times, you throw them in the wash and the foam insert just balls up because it's not attached to the outsides of the pad. So I thought the other day when I was looking for a scouring pad, I had this frumpled up thing in my hand. I had the outside materials to work with, but I couldn't use it because the foam insert was completely balled up. So I thought, really, why do I not make my own? So here we are. So I have made one side textured, so this could be your scouring side. Then I made the other side nice and smooth, so this could be your side where you shine things with or where you just wipe things with. And inside is another panel in light blue, and I've just done double crochet, so it's a really quick panel to make, and that made my pad. Look how nice and thick it is. So we have a pad made up of 3 panels. It's lovely and thick. We've got a structure on this side to clean with, we've got a structure on this side to shine with, and we have on the inside we have a nice padding, so it's easy for us to manipulate this and to use this. Now I have made this to the length that that sort of board pad was in, but today in the video I'm going to make a shorter one because they also do a shorter version. So these are extremely handy to have around in the kitchen, in the bathroom, anywhere where you want to clean or dust or whatever you need to do for cleaning. So here we go. For this I have used different colors of King Cole Cotton Soft. So this is a DK yarn, it's 100% cotton. We have it on our website in all the colors of the whole range. I really like using this cotton, it has beautiful colors. But for this scouring pad, obviously what I'm doing is just combining colors that I think will go nicely together, and that will give you a surprise on the other side. You see what I mean? So this one here has the scouring pad in the red, then we've got the orange as the edging and the inside, and then we've got the coral on the other side. And I just enjoy making them in the wildest combinations, but of course it's nice for you as well to make these in the colors that go with your interior or that go with all your other cleaning supplies. So without further ado, let's get started and let's see if we can make a scouring pad. So I am using my 3.5. You won't need to sew in any ends, which is great, but you will need some scissors, of course, to cut off your yarn. Now, you need to make 3 panels. And there's a logic to the order that you make them in. So we're going to get started by making the back panel, which is a panel of doing just single crochets. And this time I am going to make a smaller version. So you start with making your slip knot, you insert your hook, and for the smaller version you're going to chain 20, and for the larger version I chained 30. So let's start chaining. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. Then you're going to chain 1, and this chain 1 is your turning chain, it doesn't count. And now you sort of turn your work, and in the 20th chain, that is where you are going to place your first single crochet. Voila. So I use American terminology, and I'm going to be placing 1 single crochet in each chain along the starting chain. There we go. I will see you at the end of the row. So I have now done 20 single crochets, and now I'm going to chain one. I'm going to turn my work, and then you're going to place one single crochet under each V along the row. So you'll be doing 20 single crochets. And you're going to do this for 14 rows. So I will see you when you have finished your panel of 14 rows. So I'm just doing my last 2 stitches here. Voila. So this is my little panel of 14 rows. And as you can tell, there are ridges in my fabric, and in between the ridges are each time 2 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ridges. So I have 14 rows. So let's cut off the yarn. So we'll just keep this to the side for now. So let's get started on our second panel. So now for the second panel, we're going to make the scouring panel. Okay, so let me show you how to make that textured panel so it can be used to scour. So let's make our slip knot, insert your hook, and once again we're going to make our starting chain, and for the smaller one it's going to be chain 20. So I'm going to be chaining 20, and of course for the bigger one you will be chaining 30 and 20. There we go. So now I'm going to chain 1 because that's my turning chain, so the same thing as before. Now here I'm going to place a single crochet in the 20th chain, and I'm going to be making a single crochet into each chain along my chain here. So single crochets all the way back. So here we are, I've got my row 1 finished with my 20 single crochets, and now for row 2 we're going to chain 1, you turn, and we're going to go all the way along again with making single crochets, but this time we're placing them in the front loop only. Now if you look at the V, so tip the work towards you, you see the V's, and the front loop is the loop that's the closest to you. So that's going to be this loop here on this side. So here in that very first stitch, so let me show you, tip the work towards you, this one here is going to be the front loop. So I'm going to pick that up, voila, leaving of course the back loop there, and you bring up a loop and you do your single crochet. So you go into the stitch, but you need to almost go up higher like that. So normally you would go down into the stitch, but now you're aiming your hook a little bit higher, so you just pick up that front loop and leave behind this second loop here, because that's sort of situated a little bit lower, so you can easily miss that. So there we go, into that place and up, and you've just got the front loop. Now the reason why we do that is because we are needing that front loop on the other side. So of course what's now the back loop becomes the front loop on this side when we turn, and here look, this is the leftover loop that we will need in the next row. Okay, so make sure that when you are doing this, when you're just picking up your front loop, look, I've done it on purpose now, look, you can tell, yes, here it's correct, but here I didn't do that correctly. I also picked up the back loop, and you can see that quite easily when you turn your work over. So before you actually finish your row here, check to see that you haven't got any front loops missing, because when you turn it over, the back loop becomes a front loop. So let me show you again. Voila, turn it over, and yes, you can see you've got that line running there. And that's what you need for the next row. So this row, row 2, we're doing single crochets in the front loop only all along our row. And of course I've already done my 20. There we go. Then row 3, you're going to chain 1, then you turn, and in the first stitch you're going to place a single crochet, and it says 1 single crochet in the first stitch. So that is just the normal way of picking up. So you go under the 2 strands of the V. Then it says 1 double crochet in the front loop only. But this double crochet, front loop only, you need to anchor that into the row below. So in fact we have prepared for this because we left those front loops alone in the previous row, and now they are there for us to pick up and do our double crochet. So a double crochet is taller than a single crochet, but because we're going to anchor it lower, it's going to be the same height. Then we start the repeat again by just doing a single crochet under both the strands of the next stitch, and then we do a double crochet front loop only again in the next stitch. So this is the next stitch, but front loop only, so that means we need to use this one there. And as you can see, I'm twisting my hook a little bit to get under that strand better, so maybe that might be a good tip for you to do that as well. So single crochet in the next stitch, yarn over, go under that front loop there, and perform your double crochet as usual. Single crochet in the next stitch and a double crochet in the front loop only in the next stitch. So you'll see that you're missing out a front loop each time, which is good, and you're doing a single crochet in between each time. So single crochet under the V, and then here skip 1 front loop, and there we go, pick this one up and do our double crochet there. Single crochet, double crochet, front loop. And this is how you're going to continue until the end of the row. So I was able to keep on repeating my little repeat until the very end, where I placed a double crochet in the front loop only there. So now for row 4, we're going to do a repeat of row 2. And of course row 2 was the row where we did those single crochets in the front loop only. So we're going to do the same thing. So once again, we pick up the strand of the V that is the closest to us only, and then we make our single crochet. And of course we need to do this row of single crochets in this way, so we have that anchoring ready for when we do our double crochets in the front loop only in the next row. So this is what it looks like on the other side, and have I missed any? No, I haven't. So that's good, I can keep on going. I will see you at the end of the row. So I have made it to the end of the row. If I turn my work over, I can see the line, so that's good. So now for row 5, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And this time we're going to start our repeat with a front loop double crochet. So here in this row we started with a single crochet, then a front loop double crochet, but here we're going to start with a double crochet in that first leftover loop there. Voila, and then we do our single crochet. So this time here we're going to place our double crochet in the front loop only, and then a single crochet in the next one. And you will notice you're putting your double crochets sort of in between the previous two, so it will be there. So we do a double crochet, front loop only, and then a single crochet under the both strands. And this is how you will continue until the end of the row. So I've made it to the end of the row. This time my row ended in a single crochet, and that's perfect because of course we started with a double crochet. So now we are at the stage where we are going to be repeating these rows. So you'll be doing a row 2, which is that front loop single crochet. Then you will be doing the row where you start with a single crochet and then you do a front loop double crochet. Then you do again the row with a front loop single crochet, and then again you do the row where you start with the double crochet in the front loop and then your single crochet. So you're going to do this until you have 6 rows of front loops. So that's how I count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I will see you when you have finished your panel. So I'm just doing the last few stitches of my panel here. And I have now done 6 rows with the double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lots of 2 rows. So that's 12 rows. But we started with a single crochet row, so that's our 13th row. And now to finish our panel, we're going to do another row of those single crochets in the front loop only, because that will just finish our little panel off quite nicely, and that will give us the stitches that we need to to attach it all together. Did I go under the both? Yeah, I did. I felt that. So there we go. Let's do a row of single crochets in the front loop only, and I will see you at the end of it. So I have just finished my row of single crochets here. I'm going to cut off the yarn, pull out the loop. So this is our second panel finished. So we now have our 2 outside panels that we have finished. So now let's make the inner and then the assembly of our scouring pad. So now for the inner pad, we are going to be starting as usual with our slip knot. We're going to chain 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 19 and 20. Then you chain 1, once again, this is your turning chain. Then you yarn over, you skip the turning chain and you go into your 20th chain and you make a double crochet. There we go. And we're going to be placing a double crochet in each stitch along our chain. And you should be doing 20 of them. And I will see you at the end of it. So this is my first row of double crochets finished. I'm going to chain 1, turn, and I'm going to just get started and do another row of double crochets. And in fact, you're going to do 6 rows of double crochets. So that will give you a panel that's the same height as the ones that we have just made for the front and the scourer panel. So here I have nearly finished my 6 rows of double crochets, and this goes really quickly of course because the double crochets are a lot taller than the single crochets. There we go, voila. So now that we have this panel ready, you're not going to cut off your yarn, okay, so keep this as it is. Now we have here our scourer panel, so that goes on top of that one. We have here our plain panel, so that goes underneath that one, and we are now going to continue with the assembly. So we're not going to cut off the yarn, we are just going to make 1 chain, and now we get ready to find here 2 strands in the outermost corner there. Then you go into your green panel and you find some strands there. Take your time to just look for a couple of strands that are on the outermost corner. And then here again in that third pad as well. So this is now a corner position, and now we're going to start by doing a single crochet through that one. So back through all the panels to the other side. And 3. So you're going to do 3 single crochets in one location. This is your corner. And now you're going to try and find good strands. So what I call a good strand is this one, for example, and this one together. So 2 strands together. Here as well, try and find 2 strands. And here as well, we're going to try and find 2 strands. And we're going to do a single crochet. Voila. Now, if you have to use 1 strand at one position, that's fine, obviously. But using 2 strands means that your hole that you're creating is not going to expand. So try to do this at regular intervals. So let's see if I can pick this one here and that one, yeah. Then here. And really, this now, this is what you have to do throughout the whole edge of doing this, okay? You're just going to have to find locations where you're going to be able to place your single crochets, not too far apart, not too close together, with good strands. See, here I picked up 1 strand, that's okay for once, you know, but try and do better the next time. So try and get 2 strands next time. Yep. And this is the thing. Now we have the opportunity to attach that middle, that padding, to the whole edging. And that's what I found was lacking in those commercially bought pads, that my padding just, you know, balled up inside and then you can't use it anymore. So there we go. So all of this is attached, as you can see. Look. Voila. So this is how you're going to go around the whole way. Of course, in certain locations you will have the strands to pick up where we finished our see, look, these are the 3 leftover strands of the chains. So those are all you're going to have to pick up. So you'll have to pick those up. Okay. Then here again, you're looking for strands. And then here, let me show it like this. Here you will have the V, and the V. Okay, so that's the way you're going to be crocheting these pads together. And of course, check before you get any further that you have got the scourer pad on the outside, you've got your padding on the inside, and you've got your smooth side on the other side. And of course, when you're doing this, make sure that you're tallying up your 3 panels to end at the same location. So make sure that you don't travel further on one panel than on the other. So I'm going to continue now, and I will see you when I have gone all the way around. So I have made it all the way around. I've got here 1 stitch left to do, and yeah, I have got 1 left over, so that's good. There we go. And then here I'm now going to go under a V that I see there, and I'm going to do a slip stitch to close my round. There we go. So now we're going to cut off the yarn, and of course this last one here we're going to have to make it disappear. Insert it and make sure I come out close to where my end is. I wrap it around my hook and then I pull it into my pad. There we go. So we have now made a smaller version of the pads that I already had here, and I think they're going to be really handy in my kitchen. I am really looking forward to using them, and there is a written pattern available for this project on my website, so please follow the link in the description box below if you would like to go to my website to purchase this pattern. And as an extra incentive, I have added another project to the written pattern. It is a dishcloth, and that's exclusive to the written pattern. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will make it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!